Why am I saying, an old woman? Not to disgrace her, not to shame her age, but to elevate the beauty of her grace. She is the woman who carries time like a crown, who holds stories in her eyes that even the stars envy. When I say, old, I mean seasoned by life, refined by experience, and shaped by battles no one ever saw. She is not a fading flower. She is the full bloom that dared to survive every storm. And my heart, my royal heart that once belonged to no one, is now hers, because she taught it the rhythm of love without needing noise or drama. People ask me why her. Why not someone younger, someone more suitable? But hearts don't choose based on years, they choose based on truth. And her truth, her wisdom, her elegance, her calm, it silenced the chaos within me. She didn't have to dance to be noticed. She walked into my life with quiet power, and suddenly I saw everything differently. She didn't need attention, she gave meaning. She didn't wear a crown, but she made me feel like I was worthy of mine. There is a sacred poetry in her patience, a language in her silence that only I understand. I call her old, not because she lacks beauty, but because she defines a timeless one. When the world looks for sparkles, I found my diamond in her stillness. I call her old because she is a soul that's lived 1,000 lives, and still finds ways to be kind. Her laughter holds memories, her tears carry oceans, and her hands, though softer now, still cradle strength I've never seen in anyone else. She is not old because of time. She is old because of depth. Her eyes have seen empires fall and love rise again. Her voice speaks in lullabies, but her gaze? Her gaze commands a kingdom. I, Sheikh Hamdan, once surrounded by endless choices, found my forever in a woman who doesn't chase the world, but quietly lets it revolve around her. She taught me that the most powerful love stories are not written in youth, but in the pages of maturity. There is nothing immature about falling in love with an old soul. There is nothing weak about surrendering to someone who knows how to love you without asking you to change. She did not need promises. She lived through broken ones and still believed in mine. She did not demand gifts. She became the gift. And while others write ballads for youth, I write poetry for her, my empress of grace, my queen of quiet storms. She once asked me, in her soft whisper, "Why me?" And I laughed, not out of mockery, but out of awe. Why not her? She is the answer to prayers I never knew I was whispering. She is the lesson I didn't know I needed to learn. She didn't walk into my life with fireworks. She entered with stillness, and somehow set my soul ablaze. I loved her without needing to explain, and now I speak because the world must understand that love is not always young, it is always real. They judged her by the wrinkles on her skin, but I saw the maps of where she's been. They measured her worth by what she used to be, while I cherished her for everything she became. She is not the shadow of her past. She is the full sunrise after years of dusk. Her arms are the safest throne I've ever known. Her presence is my secret palace. And though she may not walk fast anymore, I promise, I will slow down just to walk beside her. Her hair may have silver strands, but they shine brighter than any gold. Her laughter is deeper now, less wild, but more sincere. The way she listens, truly listens, has become my sacred retreat. She holds me without holding on. She loves me without asking me to stay. And because of that, because she loved me with the wisdom of years, I stay. Not because I must, but because nowhere else feels like home. Let them whisper. Let them wonder why a prince chose a woman the world calls old. I chose her because her love is not the love that fades. Her love is the kind that stays after the lights go out. Her love doesn't come with conditions, it comes with clarity. When she looks at me, I don't see desire, I see devotion. I see forever in the way she simply exists beside me, without asking for more than truth. We live in a world where youth is worshipped and age is forgotten. But I refuse to let the world define beauty by skin. Beauty is resilience. Beauty is kindness. Beauty is a woman who knows her worth and doesn't need a mirror to believe it. I saw all of that in her. I saw my eternity in someone who had already lived lifetimes. I saw my purpose in someone who had nothing to prove. If I could write 1,000 poems, they would all begin with her name. If I could paint 1,000,000 sunsets, none would capture the softness of her soul. She is not just a woman. I call her old only because legend feels too grand and yet too small. She is timeless, and every moment with her is a poem I never want to end. They say age is just a number, but I say age is her power. Her years are not weights, they are wings. She taught me that real love does not arrive when everything is perfect. It arrives when you least expect it, in the form of someone who has already tasted heartbreak and still dares to love you fully. I found royalty in her spirit, not her passport. I found forever in her footsteps. And so I speak not to defend, but to declare. I say, an old woman, because that is my greatest honor, to love someone who reminds me that age cannot touch the heart. That the most beautiful verses are written in time's language. That the strongest woman is the one who knows how to be soft. My poems are hers. My truth is hers. And if I had to choose again, I would always choose her, my timeless queen. They asked me once, what does she give you that a younger woman cannot? And my answer was simple, peace. The kind of peace that doesn't come from excitement, but from knowing you're truly seen. She looks at me and doesn't see the prince, the fame, the expectations. She sees the boy who longed to be understood. She gives me a love without competition, a bond without games. With her, I can breathe. I can fall apart and know she won't run. She's not fascinated by the glitter around me. She's rooted in the soul behind it. That's a kind of intimacy I never found in temporary affection. I remember the first time she shared her past with me, not as a confession, but as a quiet unveiling of the storms she had walked through. Her voice trembled not from fear, but from power, because every chapter she opened was a lesson in survival. She wasn't looking for someone to rescue her. She was looking for someone brave enough to sit beside her ruins and still see a kingdom.